app, to really maximizing your opportunity with us. 30% commissions is freaking awesome. To sell a homemaker and make a full week paycheck. Like in my old job, I had to work all week and I barely got a $300 paycheck, working at my old jobs before Cutco. And waiting tables is a place where I did make really good money. But like at Macy's and other places, like I'd have to work a good amount of hours to be able to earn a $300 paycheck. And here I could work 1 hour with some kick butt people, get fed, and make $300 plus. I was like, heck yeah. I love that, when I was working here. And then obviously getting to half baby was pretty awesome. But it really should have been illegal. I'm like, this is silly, that I work on Saturday and I would do 6-7 demos. I'd have 3 to 4 sales. I'd sell $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I remember one Saturday I sold over $5,000. I'm like, I just made half of this. I just made $2,500. Like that should be illegal, And for you to be able to experience that, because you might be sitting here going, well, I haven't made that kind of money yet. I talked to someone earlier and she's like, I just don't think I'm really good at this. And I said, okay, well, hey, can you tell me your closing? Okay. And she's like, oh, I don't know that. And I was like, okay, well, you can't be good at something if you haven't learned how to do it, like you've never learned how to play the instrument. Like, I'm not really good at the instrument. Well, did you ever take a class to learn how to do it? No. Yeah, I guess there's some people that are just like naturally talented or gifted, but most things are learned trades, so understand that. So in this document, it walks through 10 keys to 10K. And so the first one is recommendations approach and objections memorized. You got to have it down. Like that is the gas of your car, right? Like your vehicle is Cutco. It can provide so much for you. It can give you so much. It can help you do so much in your life. Again, through connections, through networking, through experience, through money. But here, you have a chance to do that. That's your vehicle. But if you don't have gas in the car, it isn't going anywhere. You with me? So your recommendations, that's your gas that gets you where you have to go. So you want to make sure you're keeping a full tank, right? So do you have that down? And one of the things I'd want to do tonight was set up recommendation binders and help you guys out with that and make sure you're set up for success. And I know we didn't get to do that earlier today. And if we're not going to be able to do that tonight, that needs to be #1 priority, Senorita, for next Wednesday. Getting everyone here early and making sure everyone's recommendation binders are set up so we know how to use those appropriately. #2, closing, approach, and objections memorized. Can you at any time, if a customer, Maria, stops you in the beginning and goes, well, how much are these? How much are these? All right. You don't want to just give prices. All right. You always want to give a comparison. But something I learned was you need to know your close so that if someone's like, I just need to know the price, I gotta go. Like they're in a rush, I can go, well, hey, have you looked at prices before? It's like anything else. There's a wide range of quality and prices. Cutco's top rated, so we only compare to the best stuff. Have you heard of like Williams-Sonoma? Okay, cool. Hey, these are some top brands. I have some top competitors for the top stuff. And you go through your 8 and 9 and you do your closing right there on the spot if you ever needed to. In most cases, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get to price. Like, oh, okay. But if you're like, I gotta go, I just need to know the price. I've had a couple customers like that. Now I've done like 500 presentations, but I've had a couple customers that were like that. And you want to know your stuff so you can just get right on it and be able to close on the spot anytime. All right. And the third thing says participate in 3 phone jams each week. I think of the power of that, whether you come to a morning phone jam, you come Wednesday night to the team meeting and you make phone calls here. Sunday, come by to do your stuff, your paperwork, PSP, and make phone calls there. Just the power of making calls at the office. In the summer, I see students, and this past summer, I know you guys weren't here during the summer, but they know it. We saw students earn 2, 3, 4, 5,000, 10,000. You guys are going to meet Tay this week. She'll be in the office working home from Ole Miss. Tay earned $20,000 in 2 weeks this summer. Cool. That doesn't happen without knowing your stuff. And she was here making phone calls every single morning. And so these guys that made this crazy money, they didn't do 3 phone jams a week. They did 7 or more, because sometimes it wasn't just in the morning. They made calls in the evening too, or made calls in between appointments. So, just the power of that, because again, like you have your gas. Your gas or your recommendations, and you got to make the calls. That's turning the engine so it actually goes, right? So you've got gas for the car, turn the car on, then we roll. So the phone jam is what's going to turn the car on. That's what ignites it. You got to make calls. Without that, again, you're not going to move. You might have gas in the car, but if you don't turn the ignition on, you're not going anywhere, all right? So I think that's really important as you're going through. So participate in those phone jams. #4, field training. Going and watching people. Have you gone and watched Austin do a demo? Have you gone and watched Zach? Zach's been booking a bunch of demos. He's been on the newsletter every single week. He was making phone calls earlier to get his stuff booked up. So find out. He didn't put his stuff up here, but we can let you guys know later what he has going on. I know he's doing demos tomorrow and Friday are both demo days for him. So go hop on a demo with him. Maybe after school you're able to go with him before you go on your retreat, But that's a great way to learn, is watching people who have been doing a great job with this already, so go learn from the best. So take people with you and go watch other people. I don't want anyone taking people with them unless they've passed their skills checks. You need to know your rec approach. You need to know your closing. That way you can become a certified field trainer. And by the way, that's another bad butt thing you guys can put on your resume where it says field training rocks. There's different certifications for field training. And that shows people when you're applying for jobs that you're not just into yourself, but you're into the team doing well, and that you like to give back and give to others. So that's huge. Number 5, weekly PC with your team leader. Are you guys getting a personal consultation every single week to look at the areas of opportunity in your business and what can be better? Who here knows that people pay money to have personal coaches, trainers, consultants? Raise your hand if you know that. People pay money for that. Why do people pay money for that? Brandon, why? Okay, so that's a, why else? Why else would someone get like a private coach, tutor, trainer? Why else? Get more knowledge, all right? And maybe they're just trying to take their whatever they're doing to the next level, right? They want to be better, whether it's physically better and they know that person's going to get them there. They want to be a better athlete. They want to be a better singer. They want to be better in theater. And they get a personal coach to help them perform at a higher level. And people pay money to have people help them perform at a higher level. Guess what? You get that for free here. Your managers, your team leaders, like they'll spend time every week and be like, all right, Brandon, where are we at? What are you feeling good with? What are you having trouble with? And be able to problem solve and help you get better, and you don't have to pay for it. And by the way, for coaching, when I pay for coaching, I pay several $100s for 1 hour of coaching, by the way. For a life coach, personal coach, that's typically what I pay, several $100s an hour. So some coaches that give a deal, it might just be $200, $250. Some coaches, it's $500 for an hour of coaching. So just so you guys are aware, like that's, and people pay that to have the best helping them get to the next level. So don't take it for granted that you have that access here in the office. Number 6, Mission 100. All right, put a star next to that. Always have at least 100 names and numbers on your list. So Dawson sat down with Christina earlier today, and they came up with people that she just knows, another 46 people that she could add to her list just from there. And then she also had a bunch of people that she doesn't know her friend's parents, but that she could actually text them and say, hey, would your parents be willing to help me out, and let them know what she's doing, that she could add more so she can get to that, plus recommendations, plus whatever. Are you always over 100 numbers that you can be calling? All right. So that's something that we're going to be working on here in the next 2 weeks, because in order for us to have the December that we want to have, we got to have people to call. And by the way, there's a trip you guys can win to Cabo San Lucas. Who knows about the Cabo trip? Raise your hand if you know about Cabo. All right. It's free. Did you guys watch the video of like the hotel and everything? Have you seen it? It's awesome. It's amazing. I'm going to post it in our group me later. You need to watch it. It's amazing where we're staying, okay? And I travel the world, and I stay in really nice places. And, like, this place is ridiculous where we're staying. And Cabo's one of my favorite places, period, anyway. But this resort, I was like, what? It's pretty freaking awesome. But there's no way you're going to win it if you don't build an arsenal of people to call. Because guess what? During the holidays, people travel. People have stuff going on. Like kids are out of school. They might go visit grandma in Virginia. They might go this. They might go that. You just want a lot of people to call. So you can make sure you book up the appointments that you want to book up. So that's really big, all right? Number 7, 10 demos scheduled per week. 10 demos every week, no matter what, scheduled, if you want to get there as soon as possible. Because 10 demos means that you'll complete typically 8, all right? Because some people might not be able to do the demo, and if you have 8 demos, you'll have 5 sales. 5 sales, you're going to be selling 1,000 to 1,500 or more every single week. And if you're even on our averages for the division, that's $2,000 or more every week, because we have a $400 average order, so keep that in mind. It's a numbers game. So for you, you might not be able to have 10, maybe you have 7, but just have a number that you're focused on so you can be giving yourself a shot. If you only have a couple demos, like those could have been the no sales for the week. Don't forget, you're going to have great demos, you're going to have average ones, and you're going to have some pretty crappy ones too. So you want to have more of them to give yourself more chances. All right. Number 8 says 5 phone calls before and after each demo. This is huge. This helped me so much. Always stay booked up. Always staying booked up. And I remember I had gone to California. I went cross training. We had gotten hit with a horrible hurricane, yada, yada. I loaded up demos for Monday and Tuesday with service calls over in California. I wasn't even from there. So I called my friends, old customers, to go sharpen them up for them. And then when I went to go see them, I remember he had given me 30 people to contact. And I had booked up like 8 or 9 of them. But the other ones I hadn't reached. But in between each demo, I'd make 5 calls before and after. And then as I was getting recommendations from each one, I kept booking up demos. I ended up doing that week 27 demos, and I sold $4,300 that week. And I had over 100 recommendations by the end of the week, by the way. I think it was closer to 200 recommendations. And it was just, making sure, what does your 48-hour window look like? Are you always staying booked up? This is very important. And then number 9 says time management and event attendance. So making sure, like, are you getting to every workshop, meeting, things that can help you out? We always have different events. They're to help you. They're to help you always improve performance. They're to keep you and hold you accountable, right? Making calls here is the best because you can have someone give you feedback, and always help you keep getting better and better and better. And I'm super excited about that during the holidays. We'll have a lot of our guys back for the break. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm stoked for when everyone gets back in town, mid-December. And you guys are going to see the energy in the office. Ton of fun as we build into the next year. And a lot of things, the guys will leave again, but we want to build our local squad. I know we have an unbelievable summer squad, and a lot of these guys are away at school, but I want to build a kick-butt local squad here too. And that's what we're going to be working on here these next couple weeks. And lastly, guys, number 10, Vector Connect audio files. And if you can add on there, and Kathy's YouTube. Add that on there. Kathy's YouTube. All right, so on Vector Connect, you have an unlimited resource of all these different talks on all these different topics, and those are some that are recommended. But I also have a YouTube. Put there no glasses. Put there no glasses. All right, so there's 2 of them. There's one where I'm wearing glasses. That one is a lot of that stuff is focused more towards managers, and then there's one where I'm wearing glasses. That has a mix of stuff. But you're going to see a lot of conferences. You're going to see a lot of our Cutco sales professionals who are $500,000, $1 million, $2 million. Even Josh Miller was at $3 million in sales giving talks that we recorded last summer at our conferences. And so there's all these different messages, all these different talks to help you guys out. Like, that's free resources, and these guys charge a lot of money to coach you for an hour. And so you have free access to all this knowledge there, and myself running different workshops to help you guys in success. And so those are all different things that I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of, that you have access to, all right? So I want to give you a couple quick tips before we leave today on building value, and then you can watch more videos online. So if you guys go to 7 Steps of a Sale, all right, and you've heard, anyone who's trained in my office has heard this before. By the way, I learned this in school and college, and I remember when I went through training 15 years ago, my manager went over this. And if you find, like, I have my first Cutco notebook, I have it at my house, and notes from training, and I have like 7 Steps to a Sale, and I saw it the other day. I was like, oh, nice. And it goes into anything you do, like anything in sales. And step 1 is to build rapport, okay? And guys, building rapport, by the way, is so much of your sale. All right, people have to trust you if they want to do business with you. If people like you and they like what you're up to, they want to help you. They want to get more now versus later. They want to buy more that they're going to buy anyway. Maria, would you agree that people in the next month are going to be shopping and buying gifts for people? Do you guys know what next Friday is?
Black Friday.
Do you know what Black Friday is? What is it? It is by the way, it is the #1 shopping day of the year. I don't know if you guys know that. Number 1. Number 2 is the day after Christmas. Number 3, I don't remember if it's like Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend, or if there's big sales that happen around there. Huge shopping weekend. #1 shopping weekend of the year is next weekend. So everybody has been saving up because all the sales are next week. All right. So they all have money right now that you should go out and access. All right. And have them buy for you. So, but regardless, people are always buying like birthday gifts for people. There's Mother's Day gifts, anniversary gifts, like things that are coming up. Like there's money that they have set aside to buy a gift at the store, whatever. So all we're asking them is to reroute. When they like you, they're like, you know what? Instead of buying grandpa whatever from Home Depot, like let's get him that fishing knife, for Christmas. Like I rather, because one, the fishing knife is freaking awesome, but they also rather help you. Would you guys agree that if you had one of your friends was selling something, the same thing as a store, who would you rather the money go to your friend or to the store?
To your friend.
To your friend. My girlfriend has like a little boutique, and I remember she had added rompers when they came out like 2 years ago. And I remember going to her house. I didn't know she had those. And I remember going to her house, getting a new cute romper. It was like the new thing, like, I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I walk into her house and she looks at me. She goes, where did you get that? I'm like, Nordstrom? And she was just like, I have those. And I was like, I didn't know. And she's like, can you please come to me first before you go buy stuff at the store? And so she had like an at-home boutique and she would do parties and stuff. And the fact is, I'd rather Julie have my money than Nordstrom have my money, you know? I'd rather buy from her. I used to buy all my vitamins from my ex's mom. Could I buy vitamins elsewhere? Of course I can, all right? But if I'm gonna buy vitamins anyway, I'd rather, you know, support her and give money towards her than to GNC or somewhere else. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. So when they like you and they trust you, they want to do business with you, they want to give you money versus the store. You know, like they rather support someone that they know than a random big name business. Okay. So know that. So you want to tie them into you and what you're doing and what you're excited about. And so many times things that they were going to buy elsewhere or different types of gifts, they're like, you know what? Let's do Cutco. I'd always tell my customers, I'm like, if you're open to it, you should make it a Cutco Christmas. I'm like, who do you know that you would give Cutco to as a gift? I'm like, Cutco makes like the best gifts. But they have to be tied into you because then they're like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. All right. Because why not? Like, I want to help you. This stuff is awesome. It's not like they're selling them crap, you know, like they're going to be, I'm like, okay, think about what you got 2 Christmases ago. Do you remember? 3 Christmases ago? 5 Christmases ago? You know, like a lot of people don't even remember what they got for Christmas. I'm like, this is a gift that you know is not just going in the closet. This is a gift they're going to use every single day. And they're going to have forever. Next week, put down, we're going to gift wrap your blue books and holiday everything. All right, so make it all for the holidays. So when you guys are meeting with customers. So in the beginning, it says build rapport, the process. Maria, read out the process, the 5 steps. On the top, Zia, go.
Who you are, what you have, what you're working on currently, sponsorship, giving back.
All right. So just sharing with them in the beginning, just about you, what you're doing, what you want to gain from the company. By the way, the more specific you are, if you're like, Zia, when you're like, I want to earn an internship or I want to learn X, Y, and Z skills. I want to do this. You know, I want to be able to earn X amount of dollars to be able to study abroad. Or the more specific you can be, guys, the better. All right. So that's really important. Then on seed plants. All right. Have some fun with it. Brandon, read what it says there. After current sales goal. What does it say?
After current sales goals, so Mrs. Jones, if you want to write me a check for.
Okay, so let's say you want to sell $5,000 for the end of the year, cool, or $10,000. Maybe you're in a contest and you're trying to sell $10,000 in those 2 weeks, and you say, hey, Miss Jones, I have a really big contest this week. I could win a trip to Cabo if I sell $10,000 in the next 2 weeks. So hey, if you want to just write me a check for $10,000, that would be great, you know? And they're like, oh, cute, Brandon, yeah, right, all right. But it just makes them laugh. It ties them in, and you're like, then I'll definitely hit my goal, you know? And they're like, haha, I'm not writing you a check for 10 grand, you know? But it just makes them connect with you. It makes them have fun. And you're just like, hi, you know, just kidding. But we'll definitely find something for you, you know? And guys, put a star next to the next thing and read that out loud for me, Maria. And this is big. And Zia, this is big for establishing like that you're going to show them stuff that costs money. So read that out loud, Maria.
And by the way, this stuff is way too expensive for you to buy just to be nice. I'm assuming you didn't put aside $7,000 to $10,000 to read your kitchen today, but I do want to show you why so many people invest in Cutco.
Like Julie did. This is awesome. And always name dropping. Like, oh, I do want to show you why so many people invest in Cutco. And anyone they know that has it, name dropping those people. All right. So this section of building rapport should take you 10 to 15 minutes of just connecting with them, sharing your goals, making them laugh, having fun with them. And guys, this is going to impact how many recommendations you get. This is going to impact how big your sales are. And this is going to impact them buying more now versus later. Okay. So this right here is a big needle mover in so many parts of your business. All right. And so right there, you planted like, this is not cheap stuff. All right. By the way, all the top people know you want to say it's an investment. It's not cheap. It costs more, at least 10 times before you ever get your prices. So right there, you said it once. Then we go to establishing credibility. When you guys are talking about the company, how long we've been around, here are some things that you can do, Zia, to build some value. So you're like, so when you talk about K-Bar, you're like, so by the way, we make the knives that protect our country. So obviously it's super high grade. You know, when you talk about how it's made in the USA, also let them know it's in the blue book, by the way, like it's typed in there, but make sure you say, hey, by the way, everything's guaranteed forever. So obviously it's going to cost more. Do you guys see that? All right. Have you guys ever cut the penny and someone said, how much is this? How much are those? Right? Sometimes they don't ask. Sometimes they do ask. Ready? If they don't ask, you want to bring it up. I didn't know this. If they ask, you don't want to just say the price, all right? If they ask, you want to be like, oh, they're not cheap. Be like, we'll get to prices. Be like, you might have to like get a second mortgage. No, I'm just kidding. Just like sell your kids. I'll be like, no, I'm just kidding. Be like, it's not cheap stuff. It's an investment. But they do come for free with a lot of the sets. That's something you guys can say. Now, by the way, if they don't ask you, Maria, when you cut the penny right away, what do you want to say? Hey, Miss Jones, as you can see, these are super high quality, so it's definitely not cheap. Do you guys see that? So we're telling them this is not cheap. We're telling them this costs more from the beginning, right? And I remember being like, well, why would I want to do that? Like, I'm going to scare them away. Well, no, either you're going to scare them at the end when you tell them prices and they go, oh, this is way more than I want to spend. Or from the beginning, you go, hey, this costs more and this is why. And this costs more. And by the way, this is why this costs more. And you're just letting them know why it costs what it does. Does that make sense? All right. And I remember when this changed, my closing percentage went from 50% to over 80%. My average order went from like $140 to over $300, and then it went to over $500, and then it went to over $800 by within 2 months, you know, of really gaining comfort and confidence in doing this properly. Makes a really big difference. Then you go to creating a problem. Who here wants to sell more sets? You want to sell more sets? You need to talk about sets. You can watch a whole talk on its own about selling sets, but here's a quick thing. Just say the word sets. So when you walk into the house, what a beautiful set of furniture. What a beautiful set of candlesticks. What a beautiful set of kids. All right, no, I'm just kidding. But, you know, like complimenting sets in their home, and they're thinking, because people buy things in sets, all right? So when you get to creating a problem, all right, which is this right here, when you guys get here, you say, hey, by the way, Miss Jones, you don't just want to be like, wood is gross, plastic breaks, right? You don't want to say knives with wood or knives with, because what do you want them thinking about? Talk to me. Sets. So you say, hey, sets with wood handles, they're disgusting. They absorb da-da-da. Sets with plastic, they chip, they crack, they melt. Sets. So add sets every time you're talking about a different feature. Add that in there, okay? If they have good knives, Brandon, read what you say if they have good knives. On the bottom.
Oh, okay. Mrs. Jones, you have a great German Japanese knives. Those are top of the line in stores.
Whichever ones they have, by the way, they're not both the same. But if they have Schön, they're Japanese. If they have Wusthof or Henkel's, those are German. All right, go ahead.
Biggest issues I've seen through the years with Japanese German knives owners is that they have to be sharpened every time they're used, and eventually you'll have to replace them.
All right, perfect. And so just letting them know, like I compliment, like, hey, those are great knives. I'm like, biggest thing is they have to be sharpened all the time. And eventually you will replace them. And they're like, oh yeah, like, they know that. Everything they're going to have to replace at some point, right? It's very few things you buy once, you use every day, and you get to have forever. Snap-on tools, and even that, they might not use them forever. You know, we had a rainbow vacuum. There's different things like Timberland, you know, is guaranteed. There's different like guarantees that people have. But Cutco for the home, like you can't buy stuff that you're actually going to use every single day and have for the rest of your life. And so that makes me feel pretty awesome. Then we go to step 4, building value for the solution. So again, we've been building value since the beginning, but now we get here, we're like, hey, there's 5 features that make Cutco the best. Let me tell you why they cost what they do. And I gave you guys my little key money phrases. And what you're going to notice in this business, it's little things that make a big difference. And so these little phrases get them thinking like, oh, okay. So I'm like, hey, let me tell you why they cost what they do. So now you're going through each feature. And by the way, in your manual, it says, here's blank feature, and it's expensive because, do you guys know that? Like how it says like it's expensive, like when you guys are going through the features and benefits, it's in your manual. The whole objective in this section is that you're going, hey, Zia, here's a feature and it costs more, but it's worth it because here's the benefits. And so you're going through each thing, which is already in your manual. And then C, go ahead, Maria. What's 4C?
The biggest reason Cutco costs what it does is guaranteed.
Okay. And by the way, don't forget that it's not just, I'm giving you guys words. I'm giving you guys money words, but it's not just the words. Don't forget the communication. It's not just words. It's what? What else? You have the words,
Action.
the delivery of it, right? Like you guys know that words, the actual words themselves are like 10% of communication. And then you have like tonality, speed, like your nonverbals. You guys are aware of this? Yes, no, maybe? You're live? All right, cool. Z, I'm going to throw a knife at you, not even a marker. But this right here, when you guys are going through here, understand your delivery is so important. So your nonverbals, and even if you're doing a virtual, like you sound different when your nonverbals are different. So some people say, oh, I'm on the phone with them. I'm like, dude, you can tell. Like when your face is like this, or you're smiling, or if you're like this. Like if you're smiling and you're like, I don't like you. Like try to say that, like, but like smile. Everyone look at Zia and be like, I don't like you, but do it like this. No, I'm just kidding. All right. You can't do it. Like, try to do it to me. Smile. And say in a mean voice, like, I don't like you, but like this.
I don't like you.
Say it mean.
I don't like you.
All right. You like, by the way, you can't physically do it. I'm like, I don't like you. I'm like, I don't like you can't do it. Your vocal cords do different things when you smile. All right. So understand that. So same thing, any nonverbals, you're going to sound different. So when you get here, I'm like, hey, biggest reason Cutco costs what it does is the guarantee, you know, and then you go through the guarantee. And guys, once you go through the guarantee, you want to sell bigger and you want to get them thinking bigger about what's available. Brandon, read part D, the transition.
The next, Cutco makes everything for the kitchen. We have your knife sets, cookware, flatware, kitchen and outdoor accessories, as well as military grade hunting and fishing knives. I'm going to start with the knife sets first because that's usually people's first investment. But then I'll show you everything else real quick because if you do see stuff you might want later, for you or for kids, there are great deals on bundles and packages.
Yep, and I would say, I'm like, hey, the more you buy now, the more you save. Or the more you buy it once, the more you save. And they get that, by the way. It's like buying at Costco, right? When you buy bulk, you just save more. So I'm not going to go into the rest of this with closing, but I just wanted to give you guys a couple keys. And I'm telling you guys, those little differences and seed plants of like, hey, Miss Jones, this stuff is way too expensive for you to buy just to be nice, but I do want to show you why so many people invest in Cutco. And hey, did you see that? Like, that's another reason why it costs what it does. Oh, you see the quality of that? That's another reason. Those little things, just it puts their head in the right place, you know? So they're already expecting big numbers and they know why, because they're dealing with the best of its kind. Sounds good? All right. So if you guys implement and use those things,